Hi guys, it's Vanessa from To The Brim, and today I thought I would just do a quick tutorial on how to make a mug. So here I have my ball of clay in the center of my wheel, and I'm going to get my fingers wet and the clay wet, and I'm going to have my wheel going at a medium to high speed. And then you're going to make prayer hands, and you're going to push the palms of your hands together. And as you do that, the clay doesn't have anywhere to go but up. So you have this column of clay. So that's called coning up. And so then you want to take your left hand and brace it on the side of the wheel and lock your elbow. And then take your right hand and push down on that column of clay. Your left hand braces it, so you're stronger than the clay. So you're going to win. You're the boss of the clay. So then I'm going to cone up again, and then I'm going to lock that left arm in place, and I'm going to take that right hand and I'm going to push down on that column. And basically what that does is it takes the wiggle out of the clay and it gives you a nice centered ball of clay. When you start pottery, this is something that, you can just sit there and practice coning up and coning down and trying to center your clay for, half hour, an hour before you try to make something. It's important that you can learn how to center clay. Then I kind of hold the clay with my hands gently and I push my thumbs down into the center, and this is how I open up clay. When I get to the depth that I think is right for this piece, then I'm going to get a needle tool. And what you do with the needle tool, you stop the wheel. It's very important to stop the wheel. You use your needle tool and you put your finger at the level of the clay inside to see how deep it is between the inside of your mug and the base of your clay. And you want it about a finger width wide. So once you have that width, then you can start opening your clay. And so what you do here is you put your right fingers inside, and then you take your left fingers to push against your right fingers. So you're not pulling with your right arm, you're just using your fingers. It's a very gentle process, and the clay just kind of opens up. What I'm doing here is I'm compressing the bottom of my mug. You just do that by running your fingers from the center to the edge, from the center to the edge, and as it spins, you're compressing the whole entire base of your mug, and that just makes it a little more sturdy. So then once you have that the way that you want it, you start bringing the walls up. So they call this pulling the walls. You're not actually pulling it. So what you're doing is you're putting your fingers on the inside and the outside, sort of mirroring each other. I have my right hand just a tiny bit lower than the hand on the inside, but you're starting at the very base of the clay and you're just working your way up. But you have to keep in mind that you can't go faster than the wheel is going around. So if you have your wheel going kind of slow, you have to make sure you bring your fingers upward in a slow motion, because you want your fingers in each spot for a full rotation, or you're going to have a lumpy pot. So the ideal is to do 3 pulls and have your finished product. That's not always how it goes. It went this way during this video here, but usually I spend a lot more time. This just happened to work out perfectly. The other thing you'll notice that I was doing is every time I pulled the walls up a little bit, I immediately leveled the top with my finger. Some people do that every time they do a pull, then they'll level the top. I do it as one fluid motion. I do the wall pull, and then while I'm still there with my hands on it, I level my rim. So here I'm removing the excess clay from around the base of my mug. I do that a couple times, and then once I'm satisfied with that, I bring my fingers along the inside of the mug and meet up with the edge of that tool to open my mug up just a little bit more, and you can determine the shape of your mug using a tool. I like this rounded shape. So after I was finished, now I wet my hands and I try to get the last little bumps out so that maybe I won't even have to trim this mug. But after I get it off of the bat, I tried to give you a visual of what I was doing. Don't forget to use that sponge there to get the water out. I use the wire tool twice on each thing just to make sure that it's detached. And then I tried to take a picture of the mug here. It didn't work, so I attached a picture at the end. I like this nice round style for mugs. And so what I will do is I will follow this mug through the drying process, any trimming, getting a handle, and going through the kiln. So I hope this was helpful, and look out for the next video. Thanks. Bye.